in this lesson we'll add some of the small plants over near the stairs. So before we actually add the plants, let's create a few little pots to put those plants in. So to do this, I'm going to just simply create a standard primitive, and let's create just a box. And I'll go ahead and drag this box out, and just something along those lines. Let's go ahead and add some subdivisions to this. So go ahead and add some segments here. Let's bump those up a little bit. And now I'm going to go in and actually convert this to a editable poly. Go ahead and select these polygons here, just on the top. Okay, now let's go ahead and now extrude those in. Let's go ahead and extrude those down, apply, extrude those down, and apply that. And then one more. So you get kind of something like that. Alright. Let's go ahead and put a deformer on this. And let's put a FFD deformer, or FF freeform deformation deformer. It's a little bit redundant, but go ahead and put that on there. And now let's go ahead and just go crazy on this and just kind of tweak this shape up a little bit. Okay, maybe pull this out and just create kind of an interesting shape here. Okay, so just we'll pull some of these things out. Let's create kind of a little bit more of an organic look. You can pull some of this side down if you want to, something like that. Okay, once you've got that done, let's go ahead and collapse that. Yes. And now I want to put a smooth on here, so I'm going to go ahead and put a turbo smooth on. Alright. And I'll go ahead and now collapse that. And now convert this to an editable poly. And now under our paint deformation, I'm going to go ahead and just rough this up a little bit more. So I'm going to push pull, and I'm going to set my push pull value down, and let's actually bump that up a little bit to maybe, well, let's actually do maybe an inch or so. And then we'll bump our strength down to half. And let's go ahead and dial our brush size down to about 8 inches or so is fine. And then we can come in and just kind of sculpt around here. Okay. If I hold down Alt and Sculpt, I'm pushing in. If I just go ahead and Sculpt, I'm pulling out. So I'm just wanting to come in and just create some sculpted detail on here. It'll make it a little bit more organic as it comes around. Come in here, push it in a little bit, pull it out, push it in. Just really be very free with it, basically. Don't worry too much about making something that's very mechanical or anything like that. We're going to go very organic for this one. I think I'll just kind of pull that out. Sculpt it up here, maybe push this down a little bit. So you end up with, you know, something that looks like that. All right. Now let's go ahead and now add a little bit of a twist to this in more ways than one. So we'll go ahead and take this and we'll add a twist modifier. So we'll go ahead and, if you can see this, it's probably right below our recording, but it's down in the T's there. Twist. And now we can change the angle of this. So we just kind of twist that around. Got an angle about 75 degrees. You can change the axis. You can do that. You can do that. I prefer to kind of twist it from top to bottom. You can also limit the effect if you want to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and choose to just kind of twist that around. Alright. And we can go ahead and collapse that as well. And then maybe a last little tweak. I'm going to go back and get an FFD box and just kind of pull one side up. So it's kind of something like that for our pot. Okay, go ahead and collapse that. Okay, and now if I want to see this smooth, I can go ahead and just turn the smooth on. And that gives me this sort of a interesting little pot looking thing. So let's go ahead and now put this over in position. Okay. And let's go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. So let's put a kind of a big one back in here. Okay, kind of right in there. We'll go ahead and put a kind of a smaller one up front, and this one will kind of rotate a little bit so we get a different view of it. Put it down something like that, and then we'll go ahead and copy one more over here. Let's scale this one up a little bit. Move this back, and we'll go ahead and rotate this around a little bit so it even gets a little bit different view. So there we've got some different sized, more interesting looking pots there. Now we need to add some plants into these, and it's very easy to add plants here. We're going to go to our Create panel, go to Geometry, and we're going to go back down to AEC Extended that we use with the wall. And rather than using a wall, we're going to go to Foliage. And down here under Favorite Plants, you have a lot of plants that come in that you're able to select. I'm going to go ahead and select this Society Garlic. Okay, I'm going to choose Auto Grid so I can draw that right into the pots there. If I go ahead and click on there, you can see that it adds that plant right in there. Go ahead and pull that up. If we go to the Modify panel, Modify, you'll see that we can change the height. Okay, we can change the density so you can see how those flowers going away. Okay, we can change the pruning. Okay, and we can change the seed. So if you want to kind of mix things up a little bit, just change that. You can turn off leaves. You can turn off flowers if you want to just have a plant like that. So all of these plants have these settings that you can come in and tweak. Okay, they also have this level of detail. Okay, which we can change around. We also have viewport canopy mode. So at this point, if I deselect this, it's going to show just this kind of rough shape of where this is. If I want to always see this plant, I can say canopy mode never, and that way it'll stay right where it is. So I just want to go ahead and just kind of put this in here so not too much is intersecting here. Okay, we might need to go ahead and scale this down a little bit and maybe pull it up slightly. Okay, go back to that. All right, and now I can duplicate this if I want to, and go ahead and bring this down and scale it down to fit in my my planter down here. And you can always change that seed if you want to make so it's not exactly doesn't look exactly like the other one. And this one, maybe come in here and drop this into our planter there. Okay, maybe we want to kind of rotate this one around a little bit. So you get something like that. Maybe you change the seed on that one as well, just so they're all a little bit different. You don't want anything to look the same because your eye will catch it. Even on these, you know, you want to make sure you turn them around so you get a little bit different angle of all these. So the more stuff that you can have that's different, you know, a little bit different, the better it will look. So there's a quick way to add plants and little planters there. The next thing that we're going to add is kind of a big plant, and to do that we're going to create the vase, and we're going to do that combining two kind of different shapes, and we'll look at how we can combine those using bridge. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that in the next lesson.